Today we have quite an interesting case, and I think you'll really love it because it can pack quite a lot. And my question is this the best mATX case in 2024 or even further than that? Let's check it out. So guys, in those terms, today we have LIAN li /DAN A3 micro ATX case, which as you can see, it's definitely bigger than your standard DAN case that we're used to, like A2H2O and similar stuff. But it can definitely pack loads of stuff, and compared to other micro ATX cases, this one is quite smaller. Usually what we're used to is having a micro ATX case that is actually somewhere around this big, and it kind of goes with the same length comparing when you place the GPU inside and what you can get. But this case has it all. Believe me, this case has it all because we can place a fairly long GPU. And when I'm saying fairly long, check this out. This right here, as you already know, is MSI RTX 4080 Gaming X Trio. We have a 360 AIO on top, which usually you don't have a possibility with micro ATX cases to place it on top. You could place them on front on some other scenarios where the case actually has the possibility to place a 360 on the front, but you have here a possibility on top. And micro ATX motherboard, which kind of sums it all up quite nicely. Of course, in this scenario, in this configuration, what I did, I went with an SFX power supply, which kind of gives me more room for cable management, which in this scenario is also quite important. We have so much stuff to go through with this case that it's unbelievable because, as per usual, and as you already know, LIAN li does a bit of an extent on the case, giving you varieties of options to, I don't know, place the power supply, vertical horizontal GPU, adjustment for the SSD mountings, adjustment for the, well, literally everything. So let's break it down. Quite quickly, this is a micro form factor case with 26 liters of volume, mesh support throughout going on top, bottom sides. Rear we have an opening for the fan exhaust. The only thing that is closed up is the front, but you'll see the results and you'll see the benchmarks that won't affect that much. Then it supports GPUs up to 4 slots and up to 450 millimeters of length, 360 AAO, big CPU tower coolers, and so much more. So let's start with the power supply. You have front mode options where you could place the power supply on front, but that kind of limits loads of stuff, right? So the case comes with a removable power supply bracket that can be mounted on the front or on the side with different height settings. So the power supply up to 220 millimeters in length are also supported, but it also depends then on the other components and the size and everything else. So let's start with this. You can place it on front and you have 5 positions to mount the power supply. This gives you an option for a 360 AAO, this gives you an option for different GPUs, and of course for cable rerouting and all the other stuff. But then again, it also gives you an option to have a side mounting for your 2.5-inch SSDs. Now the side mode option, this case gives you an option to mount it in 4 different modes. I used actually the side mode here in this scenario, and it is in the 3rd mode. So this one gives me an option to actually place a 360 AAO at the top and gives me loads of openings at the bottom to actually reroute the cables. Now what LIAN li recommends is ATX power supply maximum up to 140 millimeters in the highest position, and for the SFX L power supply, which is of course quite logical to go inside this case because after all we do have strong power supplies with high efficiency, which will give you a possibility to run quite extreme components inside. Now, there's a cable rerouting canal at the back, and this was done for the power supply cable so you can connect it to your power supply. But there's another cool thing. Since we have an EPS cable running, you have at the top some small openings to use the zip ties. So even though you place the cable for the power supply here at the back, you could place the EPS cables and time up with the zip ties above it. This gives you an option. Well, basically, this gives you an ease of cable management. Now, as you can see, the familiar mesh panels are designed throughout the whole case, leaving us with side, top, and the bottom is totally irrelevant because we have a magnetic dust filter. At the back is standard opening, but we don't have a dust filter here at the back, which isn't needed actually. And with the fine mesh going throughout the whole case, you don't need a dust filter here as well, because as already stated, the holes are just enough to push the air, but just enough to block the dust, which is outstanding. Kind of makes it more tidier, I would say, because it's quite easy. You know, you just remove the mesh panel, clean it up, and place it back on. Now for the cooling solution, now the mounting brackets are located on the top and on the side of the case, and this comes in a stock position. Both brackets support up to 360 radiator, 3 times 120 millimeter fans or 2 times 140 millimeter fans. It all depends on the position of your power supply, so do take that into consideration, and I'll get to that part quite shortly. The mounting brackets situated on the left are removable, so the ones that come stock here near the GPU are removable. The top one isn't, but it really doesn't matter. And at the rear side of the case, as you can see, you can mount a 120 millimeter fan. Now, we have a couple of positions when we're talking about power supply mounted on the front and all other configurations. When you mount it in F1 position on the front, you have possibility to mount 3 120 millimeter fans or 2 140 at the top. GPU can go up to 450 millimeters horizontally, and you have 3 times 120 millimeter cooling fans can be mounted at the bottom depending on the thickness of the GPU, and 120 at the back. The F2 position gives you a possibility with 3 120 millimeter or 2 140 millimeter fans at the top. GPU length is up to 344 millimeters with the included offset bracket, and this is most likely because of the cables running from the power supply. Then 3 120 at the bottom, depending on the graphic card, of course, and one at the back. F3 position on the front gives you 3 120 millimeter fans or 2 140 or 360 millimeter AIO at the top. GPU is the same 334 millimeters horizontally, 3 120 millimeter cooling fans at the bottom, of course, again, depending on the GPU thickness, and 120 at the rear. Now, of course, you could mount a horizontal GPU in this situation. You do have to acquire the additional bracket that is bought as an accessory for the A3 mATX, but you can't go with this length that I have right here. Now, with the power supply front mode, regardless of the position, we have a side bracket compatibility. So while the power supply is mounted on the front, you can mount 2 120 millimeter or 2 140 millimeter fans on the side, or up to 280 millimeter radiator. Now let's go on the side. We have S1 mounting position, which gives you an option to place 2 120 or 1 140 at the top. GPU can go up to 450 millimeters horizontally, 3 120 at the bottom. Again, every time I mention at the bottom, it all depends on the thickness of the GPU, and 1 120 at the rear. Now, since I mentioned the S1 position, you have S2, S3, and all the others. I mounted the power supply in the, I think this is the third position, so I would say S3. S3 gives you a possibility to do wonders, because what I did here is I placed a 360 AIO on top. I placed a fairly long GPU vertically, and this gives you an option to do wonders when we're talking about cable management, because at the back of the motherboard you don't have any space. That's the only thing that you need to take into consideration. Next in line, what you could do is, if you go with an SFX power supply, you get loads of space inside that bracket and behind the GPU, because right here what I have extenders, I have original cables, I have controller for the TL and TL LCD, I have, well, basically the tubes can be ran normally if you go with the Galahad 2 LCD 360, because you have the possibility to reroute the tubes as you wish and as you desire. As you can see, there are no flex, there is no tension whatsoever, and basically it kind of gives you loads of space. The one thing that in the vertical position of the GPU, what you can expect is that you can't place fans at the bottom. But with the mesh side, you don't have to worry about that. Now, since I mentioned a couple of times already that placing the fans at the bottom, it all depends on the thickness of the GPU. GPU thickness can go up to 61 millimeters if you place the fans up to 25 millimeters at the bottom. This is something that you need to know if you decide to create additional intake. But honestly, if the GPU is quite thicker and if it goes up to 3.5 slots, and it will definitely pick up all the cold air from the bottom and create additional. I mean, it all depends on your personal preferences. So storage support, front mode, you have the possibility to move the 2.5 inch SSD bracket in 3 different positions. And of course, on the side, you have also this. It's the same bracket. You don't have any additional brackets. It's the same bracket where it depends on your power supply location. It depends where you're going to place the 2.5 inch SSD bracket. Also, 3 positions on the side. There is an additional 2.5 inch SSD or 3.5 inch hard drive mounting at the front bottom part. But honestly, if you go with a vertical GPU placement, then I would only suggest going with a 2.5 inch SSD instead of hard drive if you ever decide to go with a hard drive. But we need to check out the I/O panel as well. So at the bottom of the front, we have one USB-C Generation 2 with Eternal Key E connector, two USB 3.0 with 90-pin internal connector, one power button, one headphone jack, and one microphone jack, which is kind of strange actually to not have a combo jack, but whatever, it's what they decided to do, and I think that's quite alright. The interesting part is that case comes with the GPU anti-sag bracket. So to sum up all the specs quite quickly, we have an mATX build, and it supports power supplies, ATX, SFX, SFXL, maximum at 220. They suggested 140, and I suggest actually going with an SFX. I used V1100, which is platinum certified, and it actually can push the RTX 4080 Gaming X-Trio 7900 X3D without any problems. GPU can go up to maximum 450 millimeters, and the CPU height can go up to maximum 165. Of course, if the GPU is horizontal. Quite impressive, right? And I did state it is an interesting case. Now, for the accessories, you can go with, as you can see, the vertical position for the GPU, and you get a riser inside that package, and you get a side tempered glass as well. So let's check out the thermals, because there is a huge difference when you're going with the mesh and tempered glass. Because even though both look quite nice, I do have to say, I'm not even surprised that the mesh part, when you have all the lights, they they are dimmed down a bit because of the mesh, but it looks outstanding. And I think because of the performance, I would personally go with the mesh part. The tempered glass looks quite nice, I do have to admit, but there is a sacrifice in performance in this scenario, so let's check that out. AIDA 64 Extreme Edition, this is mesh now that I'm talking about. CPU is 75 degrees with clock speed going up to 4800 megahertz, and the GPU is 64, so 2 degrees lower than in usual cases, which is quite interesting, but quite alright. And I do have to say, now let's check out immediately when you place the tempered glass in this scenario. CPU went up to 81 degrees, so that's 6 more. This happens because of the GPU, and I'll tell you why. The GPU goes up to 76 degrees because it's close to tempered glass. It heats up, it accumulates the air, and there is an exhaust here at the AIO top and here at the back. But frankly, it kind of accumulates the hot air and it pushes through the AIO. This brings us to the point we get 6 degrees more on the CPU and 12 degrees more on the GPU with side tempered glass. So if you go with the original combination, which I would definitely suggest, it's an outstanding build, it's an outstanding design. You still see the lights, you still see everything. Unfortunately, you won't be able to see the TLLCD that much, but it's all up to you. And then we go with the Cinebench scores. So when we're talking about the mesh part, throughout the whole benchmarks, 4925, eventually touching at the end 4950 megahertz, thermals going 76 degrees stable constantly, which is quite outstanding. And the scores 26,361, it started there, and eventually it pushes to 26,500, which is outstanding. I would say somewhat an average is 26,430, 50, something like that, which is great because we are talking here about a much smaller case compared to the bigger cases like 011D Evo and D Evo XL that I tested this AAO in, which got much better scores. But we're talking here about less configuration of the fans inside the case, and this is quite outstanding. And then when we go with tempered glass, of course, you can expect a loss in performance and a higher temperature. This brings us to the point that the thermals on the CPU go up to 83 to 84 degrees. Clock speed, of course, decreases with 4850 to 4875 megahertz, and we get, I would say, 200 to 250 Cinebench points less. Regardless of the tempered glass, let's put that on the side. That's an accessory which you can choose if you desire to do so. And I wanted to run benchmarks just to give you an idea. Should you go with it, or should you just skip it, or just keep with the mesh part? It's all up to you to decide. Of course, I won't go into that part, but I gave you the results so you know what you can expect. All in all, this case right here in this configuration, the only thing that I would go with is with the vertical GPU and SFX power supply. This combination is definitely perfect, and I'm quite impressed. The performance is outstanding, definitely, when we're talking about the mesh panels, and I mean, check it out. I want to give you some idea. Pegs, easily done. You remove the side panel the same way and the back side panel the same way. Two thumb screws here at the top to remove it. Everything is quite nicely organized, and you'll be satisfied. I'm thinking you'll be definitely satisfied. This is definitely my favorite mATX case for this year. Let's see what next year brings us, but so far this is definitely big thumbs up. Definitely PC Crazy approved badge, and without a doubt, this one goes into a special segment of cases that I prefer. Actually, I personally prefer. So yeah. That's it for today. The link for actually the whole combination of everything that I did here, including the motherboard, the power supply, the GPU, processor, and of course all LIAN Li products are in the description below, so you can check it out. And well, the most important thing is the case price. The case comes in black and white, and the case price MSRP is $69. So this kind of goes into that segment, and I have to add one more badge because of it. I totally forgot about it. PC Crazy Best Buy badge for the mATX case, without a doubt. That's it. I'll wrap it up here. If you're new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe, hit the like button, click the notification bell, and hopefully I will see you quite shortly in a new one. Thanks. Bye bye.